Hi, my name is Corey, and I wanted to make a contribution to Dan Savage's It Gets Better project. I know this is a late submission given that it's the end of October, and the project was started almost a month ago, but it took me a while to think about the responses that a lot of people were posting, and in particular the messages that came very clearly across were, it gets better, you're not alone. People have been through similar experiences that you might be facing right now, so they understand how it feels to be bullied, to be harassed, to be unsure of who you are, or to know who you are and yet to be made to feel like that's not good enough, or you're not lovable, or you're weird, or something's wrong with you. So people know, people understand, and people have been in the position that you're in. The other message that people have been putting forth is that we're here to support you. So even if you don't have people in your neighborhoods, your schools, or unfortunately your family who will support you for who you are and who will love and accept you regardless of your gender or your sexual identity, there are people out in the world who do support you. So hence, we submit our videos on YouTube to try to get the message to you to know that you're not alone, that we understand and we're here for you. Well, it may feel somewhat unhelpful or empty for people to say, you're not alone, it gets better, just wait it out, stick through this shit, and you'll be able to make it, and then you'll be able to live a happy, healthy, fulfilling, rich life. Well, it may be the case that eventually things will get a lot better. You can choose the people you're around, your families and your friends, but at the same time, there are struggles, and sometimes it doesn't get better. Sometimes new things come up, but that's okay. I mean, that's life. The key is, how do you deal with these struggles? So right now, if you're in middle school or you're high school or any other part and time of your life, how do we deal with the struggles that we're facing, with the difficulties, with the insecurities or the doubts? Or especially, how do we deal with the negative messages that people are telling us that affect who we are, how we live our lives, or whether we live our lives? Well, my suggestion is the only one that I can really offer from my experience, which is that for me, finding other inspirational resources, people who said similar stuff to what I was already feeling, or who said new things that helped me understand a little bit more about what I was going through, or a little bit more about what was surrounding me, or even retrospectively my past experiences. I find poets, and I found authors, and in particular I found philosophers who were saying things that meant something to me, that they spoke to me, and it clarified, solidified, but more importantly pushed me to think new things. So it clarified some thoughts that I had already been carrying with me for a really long time, but it also helped me come to new ideas, new ways of understanding the world around me, and new ways of understanding myself. So thinking might seem really simple. Like, what's that gonna do? Well, the thing is that people in the world claim to know a lot of stuff. They might say that they know something about you, about what you're doing, about the consequences that might come from who you are, but people don't really know much. They think a lot of things, and you might think those things too at times. But the key is that you can think differently. And in thinking differently, you might realize too that there are more possibilities available to you in the future of how to live, how to be, how to act, and it could open up new possible experiences for you. But it's not just in the future that these new things can come up. The very act of thinking itself could, and from my experience, does create a very positive change. And that change is that if you try really hard to understand what's going on around you, propelled by the thoughts of others, influenced by the words that those who speak to you have already offered you, thinking through all of this can help grant you a new perspective and a new way of thinking that will allow you to carve out your own voice. So what I want to suggest, how to make things better now, is to dedicate yourself to finding out a way to carve your own voice. Empower yourself to know that you can think differently regardless of what other people have said. So read books, listen to poetry, find speeches, whatever it is that it takes for you to reach an inspirational source that can support you in making your own voice possible. That way, when people say things around you, when people think certain things, everybody does, you'll have your own resource of your own thoughts, your own voice that you can speak from. Even if you don't address people face to face, tell them that they're wrong, it means something to be able to hold something on to you that gives you your own secure footing, to know that you can think differently and you can be differently from anything that you've already thought or been so far. All that it is to give you some support. Now that might be really empty too, to say go find certain resources, find inspirational speakers, find role models, figure out what's available to you, make it your own, and change it in the process to really make it your own. Well, all of that, I could just be, saying words, meaningless words. But I seriously think that there's a real possibility for change by thinking differently, personally and socially. So I've now created my own YouTube channel, and I'm going to try my hardest to offer new material for new way of thinking from the role models who have influenced my own thinking and being, and hopefully with my contribution, with the contribution of others, there will be more places for you to turn to get some stimulus in thinking new about who you are, your experiences, and what other people think of you. So good luck in the journey. Know that it gets better, but you can do something now. Carve out your own voice, empower yourself to make a change even in your own life as it is right now. Thank you. Good luck.